Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars, welcome to another PlayStation 4 review, and today's review is for Fallout 76. Yes, I know, this game has been out for a while, and it's a game, I will be perfectly honest, I have been avoiding for a very long time, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I am a huge fan of Fallout in general. Fallout 4 I just thought was amazing. If you remember, I did a top 10 list just before Christmas of my favourite games of the PlayStation 4 generation, and Fallout 4 made that list. Loved that game. And what I didn't enjoy, and what I didn't expect to enjoy in that game so much, was the building aspect of the game. It was highly addictive, and I lost many hours building in that game. Now, what I was initially looking forward to the release of Fallout 76, and then it was released and it got absolutely slated by anybody who was anybody really in the gaming industry. Stripped of content, no human NPCs, very little to do, graphically poor, I mean bugs everywhere, you name it, there was issues with the game. Now, I decided at that point not to pick the game up. I thought I will leave it. Now, what I did do, I think it was in 2019, is I borrowed the game off a friend just to see what it was like, because I still wanted to play it, and I think I played it for a couple of hours, and it wasn't for me. There was still no NPCs in the game at that point, and it seemed a bare bones game, and it just seemed like a Fallout online skinned game, basically. Wasn't for me. I'm not a big fan of online multiplayer games anyway, so I didn't bother with it. I gave it back, and I didn't buy it. Now it's just come out again in the sale. It's been in the most recent sale in the PlayStation Store, and I decided to pick it up for a number of reasons. I'm seeing a lot of people comment these days on this game and the improvements that have been made to it. So I thought I would pick it up now after these improvements, and after putting now well over 20 hours in. I mean, and that's nothing in a game like this. 20 hours isn't a lot, but after the hundreds of hours I put into Fallout 4 as well, I've got an understanding of Fallout 4, and I've got a good understanding now how this game works. And I have to say, definitely this game is worth playing now and worth picking up. If you are a fan of the Fallout series, if you were hoping Fallout 76 was going to be more of the same in regards to Fallout 4 and then you were terribly disappointed, this is now the time to jump into Fallout 76. It is a vast improvement, certainly on the game I played in 2019. And there are a number of reasons for that. I mean, I think the game looks prettier than when I played it in 2019. It looks much prettier. The environments, the characters in the game, everything. It just looks crisper, prettier, and looks a prettier game in general. That's from my perspective, anyway. The building aspect of the game is vast, and I've barely scratched the surface on that, but I just know I am going to enjoy the building side of this game. I know it's going to be something that is going to take up so much of my time, and I'm really enjoying that. It's a little bit more difficult if you've played Fallout 4. It's a little bit more difficult in Fallout 76 to get the supplies that you want. It took me a long time to find concrete, for example. But you've got to kind of unlock the plans for a lot of things. You've got to buy them with caps, and caps aren't as easy to come by as you might think. So you've got to be a little bit more patient with Fallout 76 to create the shelter or base that you want to build. But I've already made a little bit of a start, and the great thing is about this game is you can move your camp about. You can start an initial camp and experiment with it, and then for a small fee, if you like, later on you can relocate your camp somewhere else if you find a better site, if that makes sense. Which I've done once so far. I've relocated it. Now the game is structured far more like a traditional Fallout game. I mean, and you're left in no uncertain terms really. As soon as you leave Fallout 76, the vault at the beginning of the game, you are graced with a conversation with human NPCs, which never happened before. So you make it known straight away that it's populated now. This world. You are given quests by other characters in the game now, very much similar to what you might expect. So you've got quest lines to follow, which is really good. Put it this way, in the 20 plus hours I've been replaying this game, I've not been bored once. There's always been something to do. So you've got quest lines to follow by quest givers, but there's also events all over the map for you to partake in, solo or obviously online with multiplayer and other players. The maps are, the worlds are, should I say, populated by other players, but my encounters so far have been pretty nice. Most of them are wanting to trade with you, which I think is pretty good. I've not been, put off by the behaviour by some of the online players. That may change in the future. It is a bit of a jip, I think, and a very disappointing. I would have liked to have gone into my own private world, but you're not allowed to do that unless you are a member of the Fallout First subscription. There's no way on earth I'm going to pay for that, so I think that's very disappointing that you can't access your own private world without being a subscriber to Fallout First. Very poor. It does have the Atomic Store, so yes, you can pump money into this game if you want, but it's mostly cosmetic stuff for the most part, and most of the stuff it offers in the Atomic Store you can find similar in-game sort of stuff, so I won't spend money in the Atomic Store. The only thing I have bought in the Atomic Store, and that's because I got this game on a sale, I paid about £10 for it in the sale, something like that. So I bought myself one of these new shelters, the underground shelters, the quarters one, which I think it worked out at about £5, £6, something like that in real money. And then as you can see here now, I'm building like a base around that shelter sort of thing. So that's the only time I will ever spend money on this game, but the option's there if you want to. It's not a pay-to-win game, certainly by any stretch of the imagination, and most of the things that you will buy with real cash are cosmetic type things, if that's what you want to do. And it's also got other things as well where you're rewarded. There's like this road map, and there's like daily / weekly rewards that you unlock if you achieve certain things, which is quite nice. It gives you a little bonus. You level up very similar to what you do in the Fallout 4. You'll get your perk cards and things like that. So you level up. That feels quite familiar. The big problem here with this game, I think, is the combat. I think it's rubbish. I just don't like the combat in this game. I haven't as yet got to any really cool weapons. But you don't have the VAT system in this, which was really brilliant in the Fallout 4 game. Obviously, I understand why there's no VATs in this. It's an online game, and you can only play this game online only, guys. You have to have an internet connection to play the game. But the combat is passable, and it does feel like ammo can be quite scarce, so you do find yourself scavenging quite a lot for stim packs and ammo and things like that. So it does feel like you're surviving. You have to eat and drink, but it's not too punishing. You're not gonna starve and get thirsty really fast like some other survival games. So basically what I'm saying is, if you've been avoiding Fallout 76 because of the initial response to it, and you've not really been interested since, now's the time to jump into this game. It's very cheap to pick up, and it is more along the lines of the Fallout you will remember. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm really enjoying my time so far, and I know for sure that I'm going to put a lot more hours into this game, probably too many hours. So I hope you found this review useful, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and of course I will be back on the channel with more reviews soon.